Here we are with the Gold Star truck build. Walker Products sent us that great banner up there in memory of Sergeant Nathan Barnes. So Seafoam sent us a box of goodies. And let's see what they've got, what they sent us. So right here on top, we have a couple of Seafoam hats. Pretty cool. Got some Seafoam stickers here. There's that big one and then a few little ones there as well. Then in the box here we've got the original Seafoam. They sent us 2 cans of that. We'll be using that today. And then they also sent us the aerosol version of that that you can spray in through the intake, and we'll show you how to do all that today as well. Apart from that, they sent us a couple other products. The Hydra Trans Tune. This works for automatic transmissions but also for power steering. This truck has a manual transmission, so we'll be using it in the power steering. And the final product they sent us was this lubricant, which we'll be using on a variety of parts throughout the whole build. Alright, the first thing we're going to be running through the truck today is the Seafoam spray. And in order to do this, we need to pull the air intake off. The best thing to do is to put the straw right there, put that straw in right in front of the throttle body. Alright, if you can, you're supposed to button everything back up on this truck. It's not going to work that way because right on the throttle body is where the air filter goes, and that's a big hard plastic spot instead of the air intake hose that you see right there. So you want the aerosol hose to be at the 12 o'clock position on the throttle body, so it's spraying in at the top of the throttle body, and then the engine needs to be warm before you do this so that it can atomize the spray fully. And then what you do is you fire the engine up and increase the idle, so it's running about 500 to 1000 RPM over what it would normally idle at. And then once we get to there, we'll start spraying the aerosol into it, and we'll show you the exhaust because it'll burn out, clean up the carbon, burn it out, and you'll get a little bit of white smoke. With the results from the dyno run, with how much power the truck's putting out, I don't imagine this is going to be real dirty inside. We basically have used high quality fuels for the whole life of the truck, and the oil changes have been regular using good quality oil as well. We were surprised with the dyno output numbers, and it's probably because the inside of this engine has been taken care of so well, and it's really clean. Alright, we're going to fire the truck up, get the RPMs up to that 1500 range, and then we'll spray the Seafoam into the throttle body, and we're going to spray the whole can, and as we get down to the end of it, we'll kind of spray a bunch real quick and then shut off the engine and let it hot soak for about 20 minutes, and then we'll fire it back up after we put the air intake together. So here we go. Alright, now we'll let it sit for about 20 minutes, come back. So while we're waiting for the engine to hot soak, we're going to go ahead and add Seafoam into the crankcase oil. This can be done, you add about 1 ounce of the regular Seafoam into the crankcase oil for each quart of oil. So this engine takes about 8 quarts of oil. We're going to put in about 8 ounces. I checked the oil beforehand. It looks pretty clean. And then what it does is loosen up all the grime and stuff that's built up inside the engine. It can help if you have tick from your lifters. Just cleans up all the deposits and stuff like that. It helps clean it all up. So we'll run this in there. we'll drive the truck for probably a couple of weeks to get all this through. It doesn't get driven that often, so you know, a few hundred miles or whatever is all it'll be driven to get the seafoam to run through it all. And then with the other 8 ounces, we'll just dump that in the gas tank and let it run through the fuel system to help lubricate and clean all of that stuff. Alright, we have about 8 ounces left. We'll just go ahead and dump it into the fuel tank. And right now we have a little bit less than a quarter tank of gas, so probably about an eighth of a tank of gas. This truck has a 35-gallon tank, so I mean that's still 6 or 7 gallons of gas that are in there. So this 8 ounces honestly isn't going to dilute it too much, but it'll help lube up the fuel pump and injectors and all that stuff. Alright, it's been 20 minutes. We'll go ahead and fire it up, see if we get any white smoke. The battery doesn't have enough power to fire it up when it's got all that seafoam inside of it. So we have a jump start over here hooked up to it, and we'll go ahead and fire it up now. And next time when this battery, which has been dying for a while, we'll get the right size. We're actually hoping to do a dual battery setup. The truck takes a group 27, and what it has in there is a group 34, which is actually smaller. So let's fire it up and see what we get. Well, clearly the jump start doesn't have enough power either. So the jump start wouldn't start it either, so we're going to try and jump it with another car. We got it started. There's no white smoke. There was a little bit of white smoke, but not a lot that came out after the hot soak. And that's how you run seafoam through your engine. Okay, for the last video of today, we're going to be putting in the Hydra trans tuner or tune for the power steering system. We've taken about 4 ounces out, and we'll put this in there, let it run through and clean it out for the same amount of time that we're running that seafoam in the crankcase oil, and then we'll flush everything. We'll flush the power steering system and change the oil, get all that grime and stuff out of there. So let's fill it up. Alright, and once the system's flushed, we'll go ahead and just leave or add a little bit of this in there as well. You can leave it in there long term and it'll help keep it clean. So let's plug it back up. And we're done.